Hey guys, it's Mike, another Gilded Guardians video. We're back for the full house event on the free-to-play. We are, however, going to switch it up after we go through the full house and go through our 7 continues for the day. I am going to jump over to the main account and I have a dirty pay-to-win team. I am going to reset my entire account back to day 1 and go through 20 or however many continues that it'll let me have and see if my new team does significantly better than the free-to-play. So we're going to blaze through the free-to-play quickly. We've kind of touched base on every progression we've made so far, so we're going to go through our 5 continues here with our team. Yesterday we were only able to defeat 1 boss and kind of got ourselves positioned to take on the next one, but maybe after a continue or 2. So we'll bring you in when we get there and see if we can make some headway. So we did make it onto room 120. We're taking on the boss again. We did not see the gains in gear and so forth in this bracket of 10 levels we were hoping for. Just a couple small things here and there. I was unable to stack up Jadey's healing ability, so we're not going to be able to start out with that. Because of that, I'm not going to use this Order of Solace this time because it won't stack up again for next time. So I don't think we're going to beat her this time for 2 reasons. I don't think we're powerful enough based on where we ended yesterday, and I also don't have her healing ability. So I'm thinking I'm going to keep that and this for next time to give us our best foot forward next time. But if we do get super close, I might change my mind and reset it. Had to restart because I forgot to turn my abilities back on. So here we go. We're going to get this underway, see how close we get with this fight. If we can get down into maybe 30% or so, then maybe it is worthwhile to go ahead and use that Order of Solace, but it's not looking like we're going to get there. We're going to need some big daddy hits from grind, getting us down to that 50%. We got 1 shot, so it's not looking good. But I do think if we stack up that heal ability and we have the Order of Solace next time, plus any experience gains and potentially gear, but I'm not really holding my breath. The last few spots that we picked up gear, none of it has improved the account, at least any of the main characters, with the exception of 1 piece, and it was just a small gain. So I don't think we're going to see any substantial gains in gear until we beat this boss. So unfortunately, that's going to take at least 1 more continue. So we'll give that a shot, and I'll bring you back in when we're back at room 120. All right, we're back into the boss fight at room 120. We're going to grab our Order of Solace. We've got our abilities stacked up. We don't have full health, but I think the immunity with the Solace for a little while will get us full health once Jadey's heals kick in, so that shouldn't be a huge deal. I do think that we have a good chance to beat it this time, so hopefully we'll get over here, get Jadey's ability timed out right, get our abilities on. Everybody should be receiving that heal, so it's kicking in there. It looks like we missed. No, we are getting it on. Did we get it on Jadey? I don't know that we got it on Jadey. We're going to start that again because she did die pretty fast, and I saw it tick up on T and Long. It looked like it missed Jadey, so we'll give that another go. I don't know why I'm having a tough time timing that. It's not really that hard. So here we go. Now hopefully we got them both on that. There we go. There's the tick up on Jadey there. So if we can keep her alive for a minute while she's taking some damage, we are still going to be getting it. If we can get her down below 50 while T and Long's still good. So I think we are looking good here. Hopefully we can get some of those big hits coming in from grind that will bring him down significantly. Hopefully we're stuck at 38%. We could really use it right now. Grind, get it done. There we go. Here's some big hits. There's some big hits. Down to 22. I don't think it's going to be enough. We're going to move our gear over to our secondary team and give them a shot, but I don't think it's going to be enough. All right, so we got all of our gear moved over to our secondary team here. We got, what is it, 22% we're trying to get through here. It's going to be a pretty tall order, but we'll see what we can do as far as getting some damage in here. We're ticking it off a little bit here, down to 18%. We got a long ways to go. 17%, we're down to 3 characters. 14%. They're actually doing better than I thought they would. They're good for about 10%. Last I checked, that got them down to 12. So that's good to know as we get closer next time. So now we are down to 9%. Ickham is doing some work here, but I don't think he's going to make it. So we are super close, 6%. So we did, what was that? 15, 17%, 16%. I don't know. For those of you that do math, I think it was 16%. So if we get within 16% with our main team, we know that we'll be able to get it done with our secondary team. So we'll swap the gear out. But at this point, again, we're not getting any gear that is helping our account right now. We're strictly just trying to level up, and the experience we're getting is not leveling us up that much. We're up to level about 115 across the board. So we'll get reallocated. I'll bring you back in when we get back to room 120, see if we can beat it this time. All right, so we are on back to the boss fight. We do not have the Order of Solace on this go round, so that might be working against us here. We, again, didn't see any gains in gear, just a couple experience levels. I've been having a great time with this event. I'm really looking forward to getting over to the main account where I'm going to use Conray. I think Conray, the Terror Assassin. But I'm also going to use Hearn, and I'm going to use Grind. So we're going to have a Terra heavy team coming into this battle. I think it'll do a lot of work. And with Conray's ability, I think that with his poison stacking and so forth, be a boss killer. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes. But I do think it would have been, kind of hindsight, it would have been a good idea for me to inspire the team at the camp to get my Order of Solace going this time, because we might not beat it just because I don't have that, and I got to waste a whole nother continue because next time I'll have it and then I'll be in a better place. But we're going to go ahead. We got our ability stacked up. Everything's looking good, so we're going to use the ability. Hopefully I didn't wait too long. I think I got him. I did not get, I missed Jadey again. That's probably almost harder to do, is get Tianlong in there, but miss Jadey. So, all right, we're going to do it right this time, I promise. And we'll see if we can get this done. And I fingers crossed that we can beat this boss, because we've kind of continued on this boss quite a few times. So hopefully this will be the one that gets us through it. But without that Order of Solace, we don't have the invincibility. We just one-shot Tianlong. That was a super unfortunate course of events. I think we're actually going to restart that, just because I think we can get a little more time out of Tianlong. The entire time that the boss is fighting the guys in the back, she's not hitting those guys up front, and that is a huge win. So that just is that much more damage that she's going to take over time. So hopefully we can get a little more life out of Tianlong than that. See, we're already down to 50%. There we go, 40. There we go. I think this might get us there. We did get about 16% out of our secondary team. That being said, on the secondary team, we did see some gains in gear, but I don't think enough to do 30%. Grind died super fast. I was hoping he could get some work done before he went down, but I think we're gonna have to come back when we have 34% is a lot, so I'm not even worth bothering putting the gear on everybody. But when we get back next time, we'll have the Order of Solace, because we're at 50%, so it'll stack up and be ready for us by then. And then if we can't get it through next time, then we'll go ahead and use that inspiration to get the commander skill ready for us for the third. But this is starting to slow down on the progress, but I am super eager to see how this all plays out with those other characters on that dirty pay-to-win team I put together. All right, so we are back. We've got all of the things lined up. We've got Jadey lined up with her ability. We've got the Order of Solace we're going to bring onto the team right here. And then we actually got a piece of gear. It did increase Tianlong by 2,000 combat power. It was like one extra star on a legendary hat. So it was something. It was the best piece of gear we've seen in a very long time. So we're going to get this started and see if we can get progress on this level. We're going to do that correctly the first time, and we should be in a good spot here. Cut that too close still, but we're holding on, keep on keeping on. We're up to 60. We're down 50%. We're still at full health over here. Tianlong can hold on just a little bit longer. There we go. 28. I think we're going to get it this time. We would like to see a couple big hits from Grind coming out of here, get us down into the teens. Hopefully these guys can hold on long enough for Grind to pop back up. Come on, buddy. Come on. There you are. There you are. Come up here. Get your work done. Here we go. So we could probably finish it up with Grind right here with these big hits. That is perfect. And Qatari is still hanging in there too. So those two have finished a couple of them for us. We finally made progress. So Hopefully at this point we will start to see some better gear. In order to pass these levels, I'm going to revive Tianlong so we can clear some of these waves. We're going to move the gear over to create the best team we can and hopefully be able to beat all the levels to the boss. Again, we're not looking to beat the boss this time. We don't have our full team, but we do want to make sure we get as many levels as we can done to get as much experience as we can get, as well as any potential gear improvements, which I'm hoping now that we've moved to a new bracket, there are some pretty good pieces of gear that are going to actually make our players better. So I will figure all this out, and then I'll bring you back in a few levels and see where we're at. All right, so we're on into that first arsenal, and we can take a peek at what we're looking at here. We're at T4 gear, which right now the best we have is tier 3. This is a legendary piece, so that's going to be a huge win. We're going to pick that one up. I'd buy all 3 of these pieces if I could, but this one's going to help my Tianlong, which is my most important. It's got some crit rate on there, so I think that's going to be a big win there for Tianlong. Get that dialed in. And if it let me buy it, I would. I've been stacking up dungeon coins because I've had nothing to buy them with. So hopefully we can see some gains here. If we go to Tianlong, we're going to press on with that new hat that we put on. We're at 471. That pushes them up to 485, so that's a huge win there. We're going to see 385 go to 575. So that was almost 200,000 points that we just got in combat power for our grind, which is absolutely amazing. Tuskrog's actually dead right now, so we're not going to outfit him. We're going to put that other piece onto Ickham and his backup piece onto Brund, and that will make everybody a little powerful. But this is exactly what we needed. If we could have had this kind of gear on the last 10 levels, we would have beat it way earlier. So if we keep having gains like these and those legendary tier 4 pieces keep trickling in, we're going to be in a good spot, and hopefully we can take on this boss a lot quicker than we did the other one. But we'll see. Maybe the boss steps up and is just that much harder. But hopefully we get there. This is typically the level that does kill you off. It's the 5th room. So we've lost some of our champions here. We're close, so we're going to kind of run that back and see if we can get through it. Alright, so we switch it up a little bit. We are going to get through it. We lost almost everybody, but after this we get that treasure chest. The next 2 rooms are actually fairly easy. So Tianlong might be able to get us through it by himself, although we do still have grind as well. But hopefully this piece of gear could be something that is substantial. Tier 4 legendary, that is awesome for grind. So we can put that on him and see. I mean, the last tier 4 legendary piece added almost 200,000 power, so this one has a lot of potential as well. Let's just take a peek and see what kind of improvements we see out of this piece. So it was going to be here, we're at tier 311, we're at 575. Put that on, we jump up to 752. So we are getting some serious gains on these characters with this legendary tier 4 gear. So that is awesome. I actually am going to pause this. We're going to restart. We're going to get the other characters in there just in case they happen to stay alive. That will get them some extra experience and make them a little more useful if we need them later on. All right, we got the gear on them, so hopefully they have a good chance of staying alive here. And I think Tianlong can kind of get us through these waves by himself, so hopefully they can just stay alive long enough to get this experience and level up a little bit. So all 3 of them are going to level up. That is awesome. That's just going to move it. Like last time we got 16% on the boss. Maybe it gets us 17, 18%, but sometimes that's all it takes to make a difference. I have beaten the boss with the skin of my teeth by a couple times, so it really is just those small gains that can make all the difference when it matters. So here we are. All of our champs are going to get this experience as well. So Ferulia, Andronica, who's been absolutely useless up until now, but potentially she does a thing and she starts to get into that space where her lifesteal ability is helping us out or something along those lines. So we'll keep on pressing here, and we should be able to get to the next one is an arsenal, so we can get another probably 2 pieces of gear that are going to be helpful to the account. So I'm anxious to see what they are and what those gains look like. Alright, so that was room 129. That was typically the arsenal room where we get a second arsenal for the 10 pack of rooms. Apparently we only get 1 arsenal in this one. So room 129 is a fighting room and you go straight on to the boss. So I don't think we have a chance to beat the boss on this particular run. All of our people that are still on the team are alive right here, and my guess is we're going to go down in a blaze of glory pretty quickly. But there's some substantial hits coming in from Grind, and that's his new gear working out for us in a major way. Maybe the Hadronica stays long enough for Grind to come back. That'd be hilarious. But that is a big win. We got some huge pieces of gear on the account, and I think we're moving into, we got one more continue, and then we're buying 2. So I'm going to go ahead and run those and see if we can get onto the boss fight again and see if we can beat her. All right, so we're on to that first arsenal here. Again, we've got a legendary piece tier 4. It's going to help all of our champs. We're going to scoop that up. Got a legendary boot, going to help all of our champs. We're going to scoop that up. I'd buy this piece if I could, but I can't. They only let me buy 2 of them. So we've got plenty of dungeon coins to do it. But let's take a peek at T and Long. He's at 493 currently, and we're going to jump up to 611, so over 100,000 on him. If we go into Grind, we got this piece here. We're at 757 to 899, so that's a huge win there. We're gonna go bring the leftovers down here, gain nothing, probably a couple 100 points, and then we'll see if we gain anything on Tuskrog here with the leftover. We got 3,000 experience, or 3,000 on him. So we'll throw this extra gear over here just so I can keep a track on what improvements are coming in from the other pieces of gear. But we'll press on and get on to the boss fight, see if we can move forward. All right, so we stacked up a couple more pieces of gear. We're going to adjust our formation, get Jadey back up here, got her ability stacked up. We do have the Order of Solace on for this level here, so that worked out well. I don't know that we've seen enough gear across the board. If we could get more of those legendary pieces, I think we'd have a good chance, but we've only been in here a couple times, so I don't know that we're there yet, but we're going to get this going and see if we can see about progress. We did lose Qatari in the 5th room. It tends to just be a very tough room, and so she just went down, so we swapped in Ickham. So unfortunately we don't have a full secondary team, but we might get through this, especially if Grind can come in with some of those big moves. Ickham's doing his thing, so that's going to be poison or damage over time with that area that he's going. Tuskrog's coming in. She doesn't take the stun, but she'll take the damage. Here comes Grind with some big hits, and we got through that pretty fast. I think a lot of that is that big weapon that we got for Grind that saw those really large improvements, because he's hitting just that much harder. And I think that that's really the reason that we moved through that so quickly. Again, we're going to revive T and Long, press on, see if we can get some more gear on this account. We scooped up 2 new pieces of gear, one for T and Long, one for Qatari. So we're going to upgrade the tier 4 hat. We're going to see about 30,000 come in there. That is awesome. This should be a pretty big gain. We're at 341. All the way to 658. That was over 300,000 with that weapon that we just picked up. So that's going to be a huge win for her. We're also going to pick up a little bit, moving her to tier 4 as well. So that was a pretty big win. This wouldn't be a bad one to pick up also, but I already bought 2, so that is what it is. So we're going to go ahead and keep moving forward and hopefully get to the boss. Last time we did die in that 5th room. We just couldn't get through it, and it's a little bit beyond us, so hopefully we can get past it this time. All right, we were unable to get through that room again. This is our final ticket. We've already gone into the extra innings with the 2, so this is the final one of the day on the free-to-play. Then we'll move over to my dirty pay-to-win team, and we have quite the work in front of us on that. All right, we did pick up 2 pieces of legendary tier 4 gear for Qatari. One of them might have been epic, but we're going to go from 663 to 864. So that is a 200,000 gain, 100,000 for each piece. So those are the huge wins where you start to see a lot of gains on the account. I'd also again like to scoop these up, but I can only pick up 2 of them at a time, which is kind of unfortunate. Hopefully we can get through that 5th room this time. This is the one that it keeps kicking our butt. So I'm going to keep you in. We're going to switch up the lineup just a little bit. We're going to bring T and Long to the back. We've got our 2. I'm actually going to take Qatari out because she's kind of a liability in this room, and we're going to go with another tank. So we're running a 3 tank setup for this room. So hopefully that'll do the trick for us. Although now I'm thinking about it, maybe it's the next room. I forget which room. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. If we beat this room, then maybe we'll find out in the next one. But this is looking like it's pretty hard. We're making through. We did lose Tuskrog. We lost Jadey. That's kind of surprising. Tianlong's still kicking. And we still have 2 of our tanks. So that's not too bad. Let's see if that was the room. If that's not the room and it kicked our butt that bad, that's even worse. No, that was the room. So that was the room we have not passed. This is the first time we've gotten to this treasure chest. So that's pretty exciting. Seeing how it depleted most of our team, we're probably not going to beat the boss this time. But we can at least get there and show her that we exist. Which will be good enough for today. I think we ended up beating 2 bosses. We'll be on to room 140. But we'll be able to continue it from here on out at room 131, although we are running out of days in this event. Alright, we did make it onto that boss fight in room 140, so we're going to get this underway here, start our abilities off. I don't think we have any hope of really doing some serious damage here, but it'll be kind of interesting to see how far we can get. With Grind, he has been hitting really hard, so even getting down in this number is pretty impressive. In fact, he might be able to do it. Like, that'd be insane if we beat him right now. I'd be so blown away. We don't really have anybody else because we've lost so many people along the way. But if Grind goes down and Brun can hold on, 9 seconds is a long time, but that was really close. So I do feel like we'll probably beat it next time if we can get through the waves. Yeah, we've got Zol and we've got Andronica. Go get them. Let's see. We'll see how this goes. 15%. You got it all day long. Wow, he did not take any damage at all right there. That was pretty impressive. Oh, that was the Solace. They are immune for a quick minute. So that's using the 7 tick continues for the free-to-play account. We've got new rewards we can claim, some more scrolls, which is always a plus. We'll take those all day long. In the rankings now, we are in the 290 up to 26,000 points. So hopefully we can move up even further as we're buying those extra tickets, and I think we're gonna beat that boss first try tomorrow. So that should be pretty good. And then we're gonna switch gears. We're gonna switch over to the main account. We're gonna actually reset all of my continues and build an entire new lineup. All right, so we're over here on the main account. So the goal is I'm gonna go ahead and click restart. My party has been resurrected 19 times and I have 5 tickets of continues for this reset. I basically have an entire day because the reset just happened 3 hours ago. It's now midnight where I'm at. So I'm probably not gonna play through all 24 of these continues tonight. But I am gonna click restart. Hopefully we end up getting all of those continues back, so 24 that I'm going to work through but between now and the reset tomorrow. But what I'm going to do is we're going to go into starting this battle and we are going to build our team. So I think this is going to be our new lineup. We're going to continue to use Jadey as our healer, although I think a healer is less necessary just because as you level up you get max health every time, but when it does come time to needing a healer, we're gonna have to have somebody in there. Plus she's the event champion, so it's kind of fun to have her on the team. We're really gonna lean into Terra Guardians. We're gonna maintain Tianlong to help us clear the waves, and he's just my favorite guy, so he's got to be on the team. But we are gonna go with Grind. We're gonna go with I could never remember this guy's name. What is it? Conray. I gotta remember that. I don't know. But he is the poison assassin. He is the ringer for this event, I'm assuming, because all the top tier people are using him. I picked him up for about $38 or something like that. So we're gonna see how he works. We're gonna bring in my brother's Hearn that he picked up. There's a video coming out on that, so that's pretty exciting. But he's on my account right now, so I'm gonna put him on my team. We're gonna bring in Ickham, because again he's a Terra Guardian, and we're gonna bring in Doro. I was kind of debating between Doro and Lixis, and I've seen a couple teams have Lixis, but she isn't a ranger, so I think having somebody running into battle is going to be better, and the waves will get done with the tanks and Tianlong. And then my rare champions are literally just filling the spot, so I have all the requirements dialed in. But we're gonna go ahead and press forward with this team 24 times over. I'm not going to make you watch all of them. I'll bring you in from time to time as we hit milestones, but we're going to give this team a shot and see how we do. All right, so this is the first time we're fighting the first boss in room 10. I didn't stack up my ability for Jadey because I wasn't thinking straight, but I'm interested in seeing Conray as he starts stacking these poisons. So you can start seeing these little poison bubbles on the main champion. There's Hearn doing his thing. He gets big and starts hitting them pretty hard. I got a highlight video coming out on him pretty quickly, and we're going to demolish this boss. Now, that being said, the first boss is easy, so I'm not super impressed yet, but I will bring you back in when we get to room 20 and see if it's just as impressive. All right, so in all the times I played this event, I have not beat the second boss first try ever. I did stack up our Order of Solace, so that's working for us. I have Jadey's ability stacked up, so I did all the right things to give us a good shot. But I have like 5 pieces of gear on my entire team, so it's not really that great. But we're going to get this started. We're going to get Jadey's ability right about there. We're going to get the rest of them doing their thing, and we're going to see if Conray makes that big of a difference. And I think Hearn is actually pretty good too as a tank up there, does a little bit of damage for us. But I think ultimately these poison ticks are really what's going to do work. But you can see we are picking him apart right now. Jadey's still doing her thing up there. All these guys are full health. We're probably going to lose Jadey. But now the boss is working over to Tian Long, but these guys are just doing work in the meantime. So we're going to get through them, which is amazing. So I am at this point officially impressed, but we are going to keep on keeping on. We lost most of the team, but we did get through it. And we're going to revive Tian Long, press on, and see how much more gear we can get on this very first continue. All right, we're back in. We are still on our first continue. We are on to room 30. We have lost everybody except for the 3 people you see here. We've got Grind, Tian Long, and Kenra. Conray. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. If he wants to impress me, now's the time. If they can get through this boss with the 3 of them, I will officially be blown away. So far on the account, or on the guys here, we do have a full set of gear on Conray. We've gotten all this in this cycle, or maybe I think we got 1 piece last cycle, and the rest of it we got this cycle in this 10 rooms. We do have Grind almost with a full set on him, and then Tian Long with almost a full set on him. So having that much gear after 1 continue is a huge win, because it just is so advantageous moving forward. We've made so much progress on that very first continue. So we're going to give this a shot, see what happens. I don't have high expectations, but this could be pretty impressive. So we will see how it plays out. Tian Long's here just trying to tank it up a little bit. We do call a phantom version of ourselves. If you caught that video that I put out on Conray, he summons a phantom version of himself, and then he comes around, does the poisons. Ultimately, though, I think we did quite a bit of damage for only having 3 people. If we had our full team, I think we're going to beat them. So on the second continue, we're probably going to be pushing on all the way to room 40. So I'm going to do that. I'll probably bring you back after 3 or 4 continues so you can get a feel for it. I'm not going to make you watch the progress of 24 continues. It's probably pretty much going to be what I'm doing all day tomorrow, I'm sure. But I'm going to press on the account and see how far I can push it along. All right, we'll bring you back in. We are on our 4th continue. We got everything stacked up. We're on to room 50. I think we're probably going to make it through here. We do have the Order of Solace on as well, so we're going to go ahead and get going here. Get Jadey's ability right then. Click over and watch the magic happen. We are getting to a point now where everybody's gear is kind of starting to make a bigger difference. But these impacts that we have on the account have been really impactful. And we have got Conray back here just doing some serious work. Like, he is very impressive. He is definitely worth the $38 or whatever I spent, at least for this event. I've been very pleased with him. He's doing an amazing job. And those poison ticks and just all the stuff, as I get better and better gear on him, it just seems like he just does better and better. So, which I guess is kind of stands to reason. But he does work through the boss so much faster than I was doing on the free-to-play, as well as on this account prior to having him. So I think that he does a lot of work for you, and I think kind of pushing that Terra heavy agenda is beneficial on the points front. I am starting to gain back to where I was prior, but hopefully we'll keep pressing on. It was only the 4th. I still have 20 more continues to do, so hopefully we'll see even more and more gains, but we're on past room 50. Should be getting on to the level 60 boss fight this time. May or may not beat it, but we're pressing on, and we're getting better and better gear as we level up. All right, so I'm back. I had to take a break, go to bed. It got to be 3 o'clock in the morning. I made it through 8 of these continues, so I'm back at it. We did make some pretty good progress on the account, and the new champion is really good. I've been really pleased with him. He actually makes the boss seem pretty easy. It's actually the 5th level in every room I try that becomes difficult. So I am on to room 85 already after 8 continues, so I feel like I've got a pretty good pace going, but we'll see how much further we can press on. But this room here is actually the room where I struggle, and it's just a matter of getting everybody through this 5th room. The enemy just has a lot of damage, and they just have a lot of health or defense or something. It takes me way too long to get through these rooms. I've been trying to stack up my abilities in the previous room, just basicking through. So here I go again. I've lost almost everybody. Basicking through the room before, so that I come in here hot with all of my abilities ready to go. And then I have been subbing out Conray and putting in another tank just to try to get through this room, because I do definitely want Conray on the team when I do get to the boss. So that's just part of the struggle I'm dealing with. We're going to keep pressing on, and I'll bring you back in a little bit after maybe 8 more of these continues, and we'll see how far we get along. All right, so we are into that boss fight. This is the same continue. I kept working through compositions until we got in there with Doro. We lost him in that 5th room, but we were able to press on with all 3. Grind went down, but revived before the end, so that worked out well. We did stack up our Order of Solace ability, so we're going to grab that guy and use that. And then we do have all of our abilities stacked up as well, so when we start this battle, we're going to go ahead and get the Jadey's heal going where it helps everybody. But I'm going to, after this is going, I'm going to show you the damage of everybody to show you how much damage each of them are doing. But if you watch these guys up front, they just start ticking down this health so fast. And Jadey's back here. She just now died. T and Long, you can see they're just going to town, and we almost kept T and Long alive the whole time. They really make light work of it. This composition of 3, and I am aiming towards those Terra Guardians just because I skipped it. Did I skip it? I think I skipped it. All right, we'll get on the next one. On those Terra Guardians, because we get those extra 2% for our points. But when we get to the next one, we're going to go ahead and revive T and Long, see if we can press on to room 100, although 95 is going to be a challenge for sure. All right, so we did have to use a continue to get on. We died in room 95, couldn't get through it, but we did get through it this time, but we are kind of on fumes. So we've got some of our back row stragglers back here, but we do have Conray. I'm going to get it right eventually. I'm going to get it right. Conray. Over here, so we have a chance. We still have our ability stacked up. We don't have the Solace, but we're gonna get this started here and time that just like that and get going. Maybe it'll be enough and we can get through her, but my guess is we'll probably wrap up right around probably 20% health or something like that, and we'll use another continue to get through. So we are moving a little bit slower here. Oh no! Oh, he did his little phantom guy, so now we got 2 of them doing some stuff. We got to 48%, so that's not too bad considering we didn't have our best team forward. We didn't have Grind or Hearn in there. But we are picking up some gear, getting some tier 3 legendary gear, and I think we're still on, I think we got 15 continues or something left. So we are officially setting, I believe, a high score for this account with 17. If I go into my ranking, yeah, 17,649. I've officially set a new high score, and I still have 15 continues to go with this team. So, as seeing how I have the time, it was a good choice. But I do have quite a bit of work ahead of me before the reset happens at 9 o'clock. All right, so again, we're on to that boss fight. We got our abilities stacked up here, so we're going to get going. We do have the Shining Solace, so that'll be helpful there. We're going to use Jadey's ability. and get going on this. We did lose Doro. I had to sub out Conray in room 95, and we did lose Doro in that room. But we have the full team now on the boss, which is why we did that, is to maintain Conray for the boss fight, where he's going to do a substantial amount of damage for us and make easy work of the boss. So it's really impressive. This team is really putting it together. It's not showing me who does the damage. I didn't click anything that time. So maybe on the boss fight they don't give you that option to see who's doing a majority of the damage. Or maybe I clicked it, I didn't notice. I don't know. We're gonna try again on the next one. But we're pressing on into the room 105. We got a new high score, so every time we make progress, we're getting a little bit higher on the score from where we were on the main account. And we still have quite a few of continues to roll through. Alright, so we're on to the boss fight at 110. We got stuck at room 105 several times, I think, trying to get through there. So it was a little bit of a struggle. We do have our main damage dealers. We lost Jadey in that battle, and but we do have Conray back here. And so hopefully we can do some work here. So we're going to go ahead and get going on this. We did stack up some abilities. But we don't have any heals, so that's going to be a little bit of a challenge. But I can click on this icon over here so you can see the damage that's happening as it happens, seeing how it doesn't give us the chance to hit the statistics over here. But you see Conray's just doing a lot of work over here, and the grind with his big old hits that we were used to is doing work too. But he is significantly outperforming grind. So that is a pretty big win. I was gonna say that he hasn't done any damage for a while, but see, they actually made it through there with a lot of my secondary team going. So that is the benefit of Conray, which is pretty impressive. So we're on into room 120. I got my secondary team decked out with my best gear. We only have a little bit of life to take off, 5%. I don't think we're gonna do it, but maybe. We're hoping to just do a little bit here. We do have Doro, who's kind of decked out a little bit. He's been kind of a back row person, but he just doesn't do a lot of damage. He's about to die. 2%. We got 3% off of that group. Unfortunately, we lost Hearn in the in room 115, so we lost Ickham on the first battle. So if we would have had Ickham in there too, I think we would have got through it. But unfortunately, with 4 guys, we couldn't quite do it. But we're still pressing on. We still have 9 continues left, so we're going to keep on keeping on. Pretty much going to eat up my whole day doing this. So we are back in room 120. I went through literally 7 continues dying in room 115. It kicked my butt. I tried all kinds of configurations. Somehow I made it through right away, and we got close to defeating the boss, but not quite. And I was like, we'll get her next time. And it took me probably, it was at least 5, probably 6 or 7 continues to get back to this point. Currently, all of my champs are still alive, so we are going to beat this, because I'm not going to play room 115 anymore. I promise. So we're going to go through here. We're going to get Jadey's healing ability at the right time. And we're going to hit go, and if we don't beat her, we are going to reset it until we do, because I am done with room 115. I think the power ratio at this level is just a little bit off. So we lost Conray super quick. We're still getting tier 3 epic gear, and I think when you get to the next level, room 120 through 130, that's when you start getting tier 4 gear. But the other thing is, if you beat the boss a little earlier than you should, you only go through 2 battle fights gaining experience, and then 1 arsenal. And if the arsenal doesn't have any gear for you that makes you better, the experience you gain in 2 rooms isn't very much. So you just get stuck playing those same 2 rooms, gaining experience until you can finally beat it. So that's pretty unfortunate the way that all played out. That situation too, not having the Shining Solace, is going to be a little bit of a hindrance to us. But hopefully we can get it done. I think I waited too long. I'm tired. I was up too late last night. I don't know. I'm in there. I'm getting the heals. So we'll see about getting that done. Jadey's already dead. Tianlong's already dead. Conray's still going, which he's the guy stacking up poisons and doing some magic for us. So you can see we're at 26%. We're not going to chance it. We need to beat this time. So we're going to retry it. I retried room 115 20, 30 times, so I'm pretty sure I can do this. We're going to get this done. So we just need a little bit of luck. with some crits and maybe some dodges that just make us hit, you know, our Guardians a couple more times. Here, Tianlong's lasting a little bit longer. We did already lose Hearn though, so that's unfortunate. But we've got Conray still going. Now he's dead, so that is going to end that battle. I don't think Grind's going to be able to get the 30%. So we'll run it back again, and we're going to get it. We're going to get it. It's going to happen. If I have to go back and do room 115 again, I am going to be depressed. It's going to be too much. Can't handle it. I only have 5 continues left. I can still purchase 2 more for the day, as if I didn't do enough today already. But we're going to go for it and see what we can do. We're holding on to these 3, doing some damage. Come on. Oh, that's where we lost it right there. 1 shot. Oh, all right. Well, I'm going to keep on keeping on. I'll bring you back in if we beat it or if I give up. We didn't beat it. We didn't beat it. Conray was starting his ultimate ability. He was the last man standing, and I thought we had a chance, and he got one-shotted. And I was like, if he takes on like 2 or 3 hits, he might get there, and then boom, he was dead. But we did go all the way through the 10 levels, so we did get a lot more experience than we've been getting. So we are down to 4 here, so hopefully room 115 won't be as bad as it was a minute ago. But I do feel like they missed it. I think you should be getting tier 4 epic gear in this area because I'm just bottomed out. Like none of the gear that I get is going to help my team. I'm just waiting for them to level up enough where I have enough power to get through. So it's just kind of a little bit frustrating right now. Probably because I've done 20 continues in a day. But I still really think this event is really cool. It's an awesome game mode. It's one of the more fun things that I've done on a mobile game in a while. It does take some time, so it is a little time consuming, especially if you go through 20 in a day. But it is kind of engaging, and you get to see your characters develop and grow. I think at the end of it, you'll probably be kind of sad you don't get to keep the gear and the experience. Like, it'd be cool if you could pull all the scrolls off these guys and use them on your actual team. But it is a very engaging game mode, and I do look forward to seeing how much further I can get with my dirty pay-to-win team. Alright, we're back at the boss on 120. We are going to get our Order of Solace this time. That should make all the difference in the world. We actually got 3 pieces of gear in that pass that all improved our teams somewhat dramatically. So that was kind of interesting that for however long we didn't get anything that did anything for our team, and then all of a sudden we just got however many we got. Conray's a little bit light on health, but theoretically he will get topped off while the boss is fighting and shooting up Jadey here, and he should be invincible starting out because of our Solace here, so we should beat it this time. I'd be amazed if we don't. But you know what? I thought that last time too, so we'll find out. We're going to go ahead and put this up here so we can see the damage being done. I'm going to hover over this pause button just in case we need it. Chances are we're going to just destroy them. Look at us go. We are doing the work that we need to do. We even held on to Tianlong without dying, so that is awesome. So I think in the next a batch of 10 levels, we should be starting to get tier 4 gear. And from my free-to-play account, that's when you start seeing some substantial gains, like 100,000, 200,000 if you get a legendary piece. So that can be a huge win. And then we've been stacking up dungeon coins because we haven't been buying a whole bunch of gear. Right up until that last pass, we got 3 pieces that worked out for us. But we're going to keep on keeping on. I'll bring you back in a few continues and see where we're at. Alright, we're finally down to our last continue here. We are on to room 153, got our whole team outfitted. We've got our Solace ready to go if we can get past room 155. Stacking up our abilities, we're going to press on and see if we can take on one more boss before it's all over. Alright, it looks like we are going to die in this room. I think we're in room 155. Got our Tianlong up to level 133, all kinds of T4 gear going on over here. 133 on our Conray, and all kinds of tier 4 gear going on there. Tier 4 almost across the board. We got one more piece to swap out for our Grind. A couple pieces of tier 4 on Hearn, and a couple pieces of tier 4 on Jadey. And now we're going to move all of our gear over to our secondary team and see if we can beat 155. But it's not looking good. All right, so we got our gear on our characters. We did take out one of the enemies there and got everybody else down to about half health, but I don't know that we're gonna have enough damage to do it. We do have our assassin here. Died right away. Died immediately. Oh, that's brutal. I don't think we have a hope. But we went through all of those. We got pressed on our high score up to 30,000. When I reset, I had 7. If you include the 2 extra continues I bought, and I was at 16,900-ish. So I feel like I've made a substantial amount of headway with this team. We do have 1 day left, which will give me 7 more continues to press on further. But I think we're doing pretty good. We can take a look at the rankings here. We are in the top 500 at 30,000 points here. Hopefully we can press on and maybe get another, I don't know, 6,000-7,000 points out of here. But even with that, we might not get into that top 100 where you start to get these calling crystals. But I think we should definitely get these 15 summoning stones, if not the 20, if we can get in that, squeak into that top 200. But I think that's what I got for you today. Kind of a long one. We went through the full house event on both of my free-to-play and the main account with the dirty pay-to-win. But no regrets. I feel like it went really well. I am really pleased with Conray. He's doing an amazing job. So if you're thinking you might want to push and get a little further in the event, he's a great pickup. I'd highly recommend him. Outside of that, I appreciate you spending the time with me today, and I look forward to seeing you next time.